guys, honey.
Hey y'all, this is Gina Myers Collins coming at you again with another episode of WINOS. And today we are recording at the W Studios in Amherst, New York, which is owned by Dennis and Rhonda Wilson. We are loving the vibe up in here in the setup, and we can't wait to get our episode started. So I'm showing my age today. I have to wear my reading glasses because your girl can't see. So the title of today's episode is The Importance of Friendships, Building Strong Bonds with Men, Women, and Everyone in Between. Before I get to my introductions of my guests, I would like to give a big thank you to my episode sponsor, W.I.N.O Tactical. If you're in need of pistol training, self-defense class, or just want to feel more empowered, check out Kareem Simmons at W.I.N.O Tactical. We also have a wine sponsor today. Our wine sponsor is Augusta Sun Winery, and we'll get into that more during our wine tasting segment. So I want to get right into today's guests. So we're going to jump into today's episode, and just so y'all know, I had to take those glasses off because my eyeballs were sweating. But anyway, today's guest is someone who wears a lot of hats and shines in every one of them. Donyetta R. Peach, aka Coach Peach, like the fruit, is a certified life coach and author and a devoted foster parent. She's the founder of Peachy Babies Learning Development Childcare Inc. And for over 20 years, she's been transforming lives in health and human services. Her mission, Your Future is Forward, is as infectious as the smile of hers. Welcome, Coach Peach.
Thank you.
See that smile? Love it, love it. And my next guest is no stranger to WINOS, and definitely no stranger to me. We've been friends since I was 14 years old, and considering I said my eyeballs were sweating, y'all gotta know I'm pretty old. And let me tell you, she has been consistent, grounded, and real ever since. Detra Trueheart is a powerhouse coach, speaker, and the driving force behind TrueheartSpeaks Enterprises, where she helps women and leaders get unstuck, find clarity, and stop living for everyone else so they can finally show up for themselves. She's also a proud member of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated and one of the most purpose-driven women I know. I'm so excited to welcome her back to the mic for the episode of Friendship and Sisterhood, my girl Detra. Hey, boo. So, before we get started, I do want to make a quick personal note. As in being an only child, friendships have always been a lifeline for me. The strongest bonds in life aren't formed by blood, but by choice. Today, we're talking about those chosen connections with a mix of perspectives. Women, men, and all the friendships, realness in between. So, let's get to it. All right. So let's talk about platonic friendships. Okay. So can men and women really just be friends?
I think so. I think if you come at it from a healed perspective, I think if you know, like boundaries. Now, there, you have situations where people who have been friends and then decide to kind of cross that line. But I think that men and women can be friends. I think that if you, I think that if you're solid in yourself, like a lot of times people have ulterior motives, right? They're like, yeah, that's my friend, whatever. And in the back of their mind, it's like, oh yeah, like it would be nice. It's kind of like you settle for friendship, but you really want something more. But if you're really solid in like, that's my boy, like, yeah, okay. I think you absolutely can. And I think that you need that. Like, I think you need those perspectives. I think you need a male perspective in your life. And so I think you can.
What do you think, Coach Peach?
I agree. I was just having this conversation because in the Uber, they were basically saying like men and women can't. But I also think it's the individuals and also the healing, because I have a brother who is not a brother, but is my brother. And you can't tell me he's not my brother. We've been friends since we were about 10, and just friends, nothing more, nothing less. And I think people who don't understand or who don't believe that can actually happen is people who have crossed the lines and called their friend that was more than friends a friend, have an issue with that. Because if you're pure and if you're authentic in yourself and like, no, it's nothing, this is my boy, then it's not a problem. It's only when you have that insecurity within yourself because it's something you did. So
I agree with you on that one about the insecurity of something that you did. Plus, like you said, people will try to mask if they're more than just friends. Oh, that's my brother, or that's my sister, or that's my cousin, when really you just saying that so whoever you are with doesn't catch on to what you really are.
Or they don't know. Like,
Right.
you like somebody, but they don't know you like them. And so you settle for being a friend because you feel like that's as close as you will get to that person.
Right. And you want to maintain that, you want to be around them, maintain their energy and be around them and everything. So yeah, you might just settle for being a friend. I can get that. So, but like you said, Detra, boundaries and trust are key. So you have to have trust, I believe, within yourself. And then if you are the person who is like the mate or significant other of a person who has a platonic friend with the opposite sex, they have to be comfortable within themselves as well.
Right.
What do you guys think about that?
I think communication is key with that. Like, I think if you meet somebody who has a friend of the opposite sex and they're really close, I think that there has to be, because here's the thing, I think if you're dating somebody, you all have friendship as well. And so I think it's important for your friends to meet the friend that you're dating, because even though, yeah, that's your boo, boyfriend, girlfriend, or whatever, you still develop a friendship, right? You still have a sense of friendship. And so there definitely is there has to be first a level of security in that person. But then I think the level of trust is you not hiding it, one. And then you already setting those boundaries too. And then bringing them into that, right? Because, with the girlfriends, you be like, girl, we want to meet him. Like, who is he? But if it's of the opposite sex, that person may want to meet them as well. And so how do you, bring them into not necessarily the friend group, but into your family is what we call it, right?
Family.
How do you bring them into it? So I think it's a lot of different dynamics of boundaries and trust and security, personally, but then also how you introduce them, right? And how they're open. They have to be healed. The other person has to be healed as well, because if the other person is healed, I don't care how much you try to convince a person, you're not going to believe it.
I mean, even down to people who hold insecurities, not even when you have some platonic friends of the opposite sex, even if you have an ex, like an ex that you have children with or something like that, if you have a good relationship, they get intimidated by that as well. And it's like, well, this is the father or the mother of my child. Why shouldn't I have a good relationship with them? Like, don't blur that line, because if I wanted to be with him and her, I would be with them. So obviously it did not work out with us. So we maintain being cordial and amicable because of the children.
As you should be.
As you should be. Okay, so have either one of you had to defend a platonic relationship to others, like somebody else? Not even if it's just a significant other, but just, how people try to get in your business and they're like, oh, you and y'all friends, whatever. Have you ever had to defend that platonic relationship?
Absolutely. Plenty of times. Plenty of times.
Really?
Yes. I actually had rumors that we were more than just friends. Like, what? Like, what are you talking about?
Don't you love when you hear something about yourself and you be like, huh?
Listen. Yeah. It's this. So this is actually very fresh for me. I actually lost a really good friend, and behind other people, thinking it's more and like y'all gotta be more just because of the closeness, and and I know that because of what others were saying, they were being uncomfortable.
Oh, okay.
Like, this person asked were we together, this person asked were we together. I'm like, okay, but it was, I think they were put in a position where they were uncomfortable. And so they started to treat me different. And it's like, I don't know who this person is, So I think it's very important too that people know where they stand in your life. You know what I mean? Yeah. And who they are, because just saying people, it's just I don't want people to think that, and wow, we're friends.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So then you put what people think over our friendship.
Yeah.
Okay. So what about you, D?
Not recently, but I have. And people like, so you, and it's like, it's interesting because people like to project their stuff onto you, and it's just like, no, like, I hadn't even thought about that.
Wasn't even
Right.
Wasn't even in my mind.
Or you get the questions because that person wants to know where y'all are because they're interested.
Yes, that too.
So they do the sneak around, or
So
where they, what's wrong with y'all? Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, like,
or it can actually be that other individual who crossed the line, and then when you approach it, like, whoa, like, is this? And they're like, no, like, clearly, if we've been friends for this long, you ain't never ever did X, Y, and Z. Now you're gonna do this. Now I'm approaching you about it, and now it's like, nah, like, nah.
you know what you was doing.
You know what you was doing. Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
So I'm gonna take it to the next level. So I'm gonna spice it up a little bit. What about friends? You mentioned that for a second. Friends with benefits. Okay. So when friendships cross into something more, do you think you can go back to just being friends?
Absolutely not. That's a no for me.
I think, well, I would say at this age, so I'm almost 50, I think at that point you can decide whatever you want to decide. Like, you can be like, okay, this didn't work, we're better friends. It's kind of like people who get married and get divorced and realize they're better. I've heard people say, like, we're more better friends being apart than we are together. And so if married people can do it, I think friends can do it, right? You cross the line and you like, we made a mistake. I think we need to just keep it. Now it's on the other person as well, but I think that's an individual thing. I think we make up our minds to do what we want to do. And so it's like anything. You can date somebody, you can and no longer like that person, and at some point in time get to a point of where it's like, you know what, like, I don't like that person anymore, but we could be cool. But it's got to be on both ends.
That's what my next
It's got to be on both ends.
Because if you cross that line and you become friends with benefits, if you both don't agree, that's gonna mess up the friendship anyway. Like, if you're like, no, I'd rather remain friends, and he's like, nah, I want something a little bit more. So then that causes a conflict.
That's the dynamic. They both have to be on the same page. Because one will be, it's almost like it's false hope. Because if one person wants to have the relationship with benefits and the other person like, absolutely not. But when you agree to just be friends, knowing that you definitely want more, you're setting yourself up.
You're setting yourself for heartache and everything.
Because at the end of the day, like, they just want to be friends.
Yeah, you want something that they don't.
Right. Subconsciously, it'll probably change your attitude too, because you just feel like, you're yearning for more and you're not getting that. So I'm sure that it changes.
It's not the benefit.
It's not
the benefit.
It's not right now. Have either one of you ever been in that experience where you were friends and it turned to friends with benefits?
No.
I have been in situations where we called it friends with benefits.
So we start out as friends and then took on the benefit, but you was just friends with benefits from the get-go.
Yeah, like,
I understand
think we were
that.
friends, but we were friends with benefits. Like, we weren't, like, it wasn't serious.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we weren't in a relationship or anything like that. So I've had that, but not like a friend where I don't have a lot of male friends. And the male friends that I have are extremely protective. So, and if there is something different, I don't know. You know what I mean? Because I'm very clear on boundaries. Like, I'm not ever going to give you the idea that there's something there when we say we're friends.
Right.
So when it's at that point, there's an attraction there. Like, it's never been like, oh, we cool, whatever. It was just more like, we ain't official, but
Yeah, like what Martin said, bad boys, we get together every once in a while, do a little bumpy grind. So I've had experiences with both of a friend that was with benefits and us all, and then a friend that went to the other side. And we stopped being friends for a chunk of time. For a chunk of time, we stopped being friends. It was kind of, I don't know why. It was like an unspoken thing. Like,
was it awkward?
well, he didn't say nothing and I didn't say nothing, and we have to make an effort to even see each other because we didn't hang in the same circles and stuff like that, or it's not like we would just bump into each other. So, but then after many years, we became friends again. So, I think after years of, being grown, you know what I'm saying? Because you almost 50, girl. I only got a couple of days, couple more months. 3 months until I'm a half a century. So at this age that I am now, I totally believe that you could have a platonic friend because you know who you are and what you want and what you don't want. So I think for your significant other or whatever, I don't think that we should have to go above and beyond to make them feel extra secure because number one,
you should be secure already.
Number one, like you said, you should be healed and secured already. Number two, there should be a level of trust between me and you. And I hate when people say it's not that I don't trust you, I don't trust them. What do that mean?
Right.
So what? I'm just gonna fall and they gonna trip and fall on top of me? Like I don't understand.
It takes two to tango, yeah.
Right. It takes two. It takes consensual. So I don't know.
And I also don't think back in the day, and it still maybe I don't know, but they used to say like the only way you can have a male friend is if he's gay. You remember back in the day?
Yes.
Of course, at that point, there's no threat there, but I don't believe that either. I think, they don't have to be gay for you to have a good friendship with them. This is not Will and
Grace, honey, okay?
No.
I don't think so.
Going back to what Dee said earlier about introductions, I think that's important as well, like with the male friend and the female friends. Like I want you to meet them because when we are in like with somebody, we're blinded. And I don't really like to say red flags. That's some of the issues and things that we may miss. Our friends can be like, he ain't open that door for you. Like, I know that's what you like. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like certain things, or like the male friends, like my father is not around, but my dad was spot on with everything. Like, no, I don't like him because X, Y, and Z. So to have that male presence and somebody that is protective and that knows you and that knows, just know you, just to be able to introduce them, like, shaking their hand, like, his hand shaking firm, like it's
right.
Good. Like, no, right. But I'm telling, my father used to be like, oh, he's not good. And I'm like, what? Like, you just see, like, the way he walked in. I'm like, what? Oh, what do you mean? But just to have that extra security, and that's work for me.
And you know what? I have a male friend that I'm really close with, and I value our friendship for the simple fact that I will call him up and tell him stuff. He's like, "Girl, you dumb. What is you talking about?" Like he keeps it real and be like, da 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 da. So he calls me out on my stuff, and then when I tell him like, oh, he'd be like, well, what happened to so and so, and I'd be like, what? He'd be like, he ain't nothing but a simp, or no, this whatever. You know what I'm saying? But he keeps it real on both sides, so he's not like biased where it's all gonna be, well, it was them. Well, what did you do?
Absolutely.
It's just to hear the male perspective of different things and stuff like that. I value that. I really do. So let's talk about sisterhood versus stereotypes, because we all know women are often labeled as catty. But is that really fair to say that all women are catty? And how do you flip the script into real sisterhood? So, Detra, in your introduction, I said you were part of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, which is a sorority and it promotes sisterhood and everything. So, how are you in those bonds? How were those bonds formed? Because you go through your process and everything like that. So, how do you form those sisterhood bonds?
Well, we're talking like 30 years now. So I joined the organization in 1997. And, we were an undergrad at the time. So I think the undergrad level of sisterhood versus the graduate level of sisterhood is different, but I still, Nia, my other BFF, she and I met pledging together. And so we met in the organization and we've been like this ever since. So I really think, and so let me say this, I think there's cattiness across the board. It can be cattiness in sororities, it can be cattiness on the job, it can be cattiness in the family. And not because women are catty, But because when we talk about that whole process of healing, we talk about the whole process of maturity. I've seen it across the board. So, I've seen very mature women in sororities. I've seen very not mature women in sororities. Let's just keep it real. I am a preacher as well. I'm an elder, an ordained elder. I've seen women who do very well in church, and I've seen some cattiness in the church. And so it is not the organization, it's the people. I think it's unfortunate when we see kind of like the Real Housewives and the I don't watch them, so I don't even know the names of the shows, but the shows on like the MTV and the VH1 shows, I think it portrays that that's how women are. But we, the three of us, do a girls trip every year, and we don't deal with cattiness.
You're not allowed.
First of all, it's not allowed, but even outside of that, it doesn't exist.
It don't.
We don't have to deal with that. You know what I'm saying? We've not had issues. And so I really think it's the caliber of women. I think it's the level of maturity. I think it's who you surround yourself with. And so like Gina, I'm not an only child, but I had a brother who is now deceased, but I grew up as an only child. So she and I were like sisters. We would travel together. We went on trips together. I went on trips with her and her family. She went on trips with my family. And so I think it really is, and I think it's a perspective shift. Like, I don't know if we would be talking about it this way, being this close to 50.
Yes.
Right? Because we had some moments, in high school, child, when what we call Crenshaw.
Right.
Honey, listen, we could pick them up and put them down. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could catch a few of the hands. Let me just say.
And they wasn't holy.
Listen, they were not holy hands, okay? My pre-save days, okay? Listen, save days, you might still catch them, but you got to provoke me. But what I'm saying is I think just in this space that we're in, I think like for me, I'm in a space where I'm all about peace. I really am in my soft girl era. Like, I enjoy being at home. I enjoy being in my backyard. Like, I can't wait to buy a house where I can have my dream backyard and I can have my little jacuzzi and we can have girls' nights. And, we be drinking our wine at night and, with the lights on and everything. Like, for me, it's all about perspective. And as my son calls it, aura. The kids say aura now.
Yes.
We call it atmosphere, right?
Right.
We're setting the atmosphere. So I think, again, it probably wasn't, I don't know what answer you thought I was going to give you, but it may not be the answer that the people thought, but I think it really is the person. I think you go through life and you just realize, and my son, I'll tell my son, I be listening to him on the phone. He's 13, almost 14. And, he's now, starting to, like the girls and stuff. But even prior to that, when he has friends who are girls or cousins or whoever he's talking to who, his male cousins, I'll tell him, I said, we don't do mess. I immediately nip it in the bud. I said, we don't do mess. We not participating in that. And so I let him know early on that that's not something we're going to participate in. So for me, it can be anybody. You have to make a decision that you don't want to be messy. Some people like being messy.
Some people perpetuate messiness.
Some people
and
messy.
They can't
help it. How?
Unless they're being messy like that, and they never grow out of it. You would think that
they would. Yep.
People would grow out of it. Different stages of your life and stuff like that. You would, but a lot of they don't.
They don't.
They
and
just
so it's
keep up mess.
And so it's individual. Like I don't think it's sorority. I don't think it's church. I don't think it's corporation. I don't think it's whatever I don't think it's girls trip. Like, you can go on a girls trip and it could be messy people on a girls trip. I think it's the people. Like you said in the beginning, who you surround yourself with. Like, you've been intentional with choosing people who are good people around you. I think that's how it happens. You know what I'm saying? And it doesn't mean that sometimes we don't start out that way. Like, we could be messy. I don't think we've ever been messy people. Like, you started, I'll finish it. Like, I've been that kind of person, but I'm not I don't like mess, and I don't like to be a part of mess. And so that's never been my thing. But I think that you can.
But if you bring some mess to my doorstep,
that too, right? Yeah,
I know how to handle it.
Yeah, but I think people can have a redemption story. I think people who can say, you know what, I used to be like that, but I realized that that's not really what I want anymore, and so I'm different. So it's
the individual.
Yeah, I agree, 100%. I have friends who've been friends. We still have a group chat for over 30 years, the same. And there have been people, no, you're done. Like, we don't do that. You know what I mean? And it's very important. And then as you get older, close to 50, you don't have time for that. And then you also you recognize things, especially if you incorporate your relationship with God. It's like there's things that He will show you anyway, and it's like I don't even want to be around that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because it's all of, especially with like Detra and I, like uplifting, and you like we uplift women, we don't tear them down.
Mm-mm.
So we want to make sure, like, if you're healing properly. And you got to change your surroundings, because some people don't and some people do.
Yeah.
So it's really the individual.
But you know what? There's also people who will want to be around you because you are uplifting, but how can I say it? That's what I was going to say, in a negative way.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like they just want to drain you of your energy, I don't say aura, I say vibe.
Mm-hmm.
They want to, drain
I don't
you
either, child. That's the new Gen
new
Alpha thing. Gen Alpha aura.
So it's like they just want to be around, but it's for negative reasons. Like I have encountered that before. Like, I don't know, you kind of sucking me dry here. I don't understand. Like I don't think this is real or legit. Like they just want to be around some positive energy, but then I don't know, I can't explain.
So they really don't want to be up around it. They trying
They
to
just
take
don't.
it.
They trying to take it.
Yeah.
Yes. They trying to take
be
it.
around it. You call it's infectious, and they change you.
Right.
You would know the difference. That's why I say that's how you know the difference.
You do. You do know the difference. You really do. And I can't. If I feel like after I talk to you, I gotta go lay down, I can't be.
I got a headache.
Yeah, we can't be friends. Yeah. No. When I hang up the phone, it'd be like, I love you, D. I love you, Peach. I'll see you soon. Whatever it ain't. Right. Okay, honey. I'll talk to you later, and I gotta go take a nap. Like
you would get quiet. No, they talking to you like, you start to like, oh yeah, okay, yeah. You hang up like
somebody ringing the doorbell. I gotta go.
Yeah. And at some point, those people,
they know.
Well, they don't know, but I don't answer the phone. Like sometimes and it's interesting when you talk about friendships and sisterhood. I think you also recognize who are your people. Like we used to say, like you have to be careful of who you call a friend.
Yes.
Right. And so everybody is not your friend. Some people are associates. Right? Some people are colleagues.
Yes.
Right. And so in those instances, I think sometimes people want to call you friend, and you like, child, I got history with my people. Like you ain't passed the test. And the first test is that I can't talk to you without being drained. So you
listen. If Ozella or Mary Lou ain't gave you the evil eye once in your life, then you ain't a friend.
Listen. Honey,
say this for real. I'm on the same page, but I do believe sometimes people do get comfortable with, like, my friend group, like I said, 30 plus years, like we tight, like family know, mama know, but I have a couple of friends that I met a few years back.
Yes, absolutely.
I mean? So it's just
but
like,
you know what? I think that making friends when you're older is harder, but your eyes are more open. So it's like, I don't have too many friends that I've made. I got one I could think of that's like less than 5 years. Now everybody else is I can't even. But I think when you're older, you're healed, you're not messy, and you know what I'm saying? You can tell if a person is really going to be a genuine friend, or if they're going to suck you dry, or if they have other intentions, or if they're messy or something like that. So I think it is, and then you have to think longevity does not mean loyalty.
It does not.
That's right.
It does not, and I mean that in friendships, marriages, everything.
Absolutely.
Longevity does not equal loyalty. Right. I mean, I had a friend who I was friends with for a really long time, and it was one of the ones that liked to keep up mess. Just everything was messy, and it took me 10 or 12 years to finally be like, I just can't with the mess no more. Because then I started going through my process of healing and going through my self-care and protecting my peace at all costs, to the point where it was like, well, yeah, I can't be around this environment anymore for myself. I'm not gonna sit up here and try to change no grown folks or nothing, and I'm not gonna, you are who you are. I never had no conversation with you or nothing about it, so I removed myself from the situation.
Yeah, that's good.
late in life, I called everybody a friend. Like friends over there all the time. Yeah. And I didn't realize it to this year on my birthday. I was gonna have this big old party, and I sat with myself and I was like, why? Because you know, it's just, and I changed it, and it was very small, intimate, and personal. And everybody I invited, I let them know, like, the rest of the world has access denied to me. And I just was open to so many people, and that's why I began to be drained. That's why I'm running around doing for everybody, because I'm the friend. You know. And I said, whoa. So once you get over 40, you start thinking different.
Right. And as you can see, I got this shirt, to get it done friend. So I'm that person too. If my friend needs something, I'm gonna get it done. You know, and a friend gave me this shirt for Christmas. Big up to Tiani. She gave me this shirt for Christmas, to get it done friend. Because when you need something, I'm gonna get it done for you. Like, but like, again, people realize that in you and they take advantage of it.
I remember you told me that a long time ago, maybe like 2015, 16. Something was going on, and you said, well, why you ain't say nothing? Why you ain't? And I said, well, you said you got the wrong friends. You told me that 10 years ago. You know what I mean? And I was just like, yeah, because I'm getting it done for everybody else, but who getting it done for me? And I was like, wow, it took 10 years, but I got it. You know?
But listen.
Hey.
And I'm so much at peace. I'm so happy.
And like I said, protected at all costs. Okay. So let's talk about male friendships, but of course from the outside looking in. So men always say that their friendships are simpler, like they're simple friendships. Now, is it simpler because they don't show vulnerability to each other, or are they just less emotional with each other? What are your opinions on that? That they think their friendships are simpler?
I think it's a combination. Well, I think it varies. Like, I think men have different ways of expressing, and so, like, and in some instances, I think men, like, when you ask, like, are women catty? I think men are catty.
Girl.
Like, I think men gossip. I think men do all the things. I think the difference is they do them at the barbershop, right? Versus
if you ever had to take your son to the barbershop and sat,
that's where the conversation
that's when I got to the realization, because if anybody knows me, I have two sons, and many years ago when I was still married, their dad broke his leg, and he was like out of commission for months and months. So I was like a single parent, so I had to take the boys to get their haircuts and stuff, and that is when I realized that men gossip more than women. It was I was like,
why they watching the game?
Right. They just talking. I was like, wow, this was an awakening. This was back in like 2014. I was like, okay. So they don't call it catty though, but they do gossip, and some of them have some mess to them too. They definitely have some mess to them.
I think it's both, like Detra, but I also think I do agree with simpler, because like they don't, like the men that I know, like they talk about stuff. Like if they mess with the same girl, they not gonna be at odds and don't like each other.
Well, yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like women, you date them and then I date them, then now you don't like me. Like, huh?
But my thing is, why you don't like me? You shouldn't like him.
Yeah. You know, it's I don't know. I think it is simpler because men, and they're problem solvers too. Like, I don't know. I think it's
they don't take
both.
it.
They don't take it as serious, and there's like this perspective. Like our perspective is, and they be like sometimes, I talk to my brother sometimes, he'd be like, so you mad about that? Like what? Like then he'll give me a perspective. I'll be like, like, you know what I'm saying? So I think it's both too, but I think it's simpler because they,
But can they really form those type of bonds and connections if they're so simple?
I think it's done differently though. Like it's not like, for example, where a lot of women now are just starting to like golf. They say like $1 million deals are made on a golf course. They're not made so like it's simple in that way where they're not doing a whole lot of talking, and if they are, it's like the conversations are happening on the court, on the golf course, in the barbershop. Like it's, and I don't necessarily know what simplifies it, but it's like it's happening like in life, so to speak. Like it's not, they don't be on the phone for hours talking. You know what I mean? Like those conversations are, again, you know, at their spaces. So I don't know. Like, I think like I just think that they have their spaces, and maybe their spaces are a little bit more simplistic than our spaces.
Yeah.
But I do think that men can be messy. I do think that like men can gossip. I do think that, you know, there's certain areas where like men know exactly what they're doing. They can be manipulative just like women can. But I think that there is a, you know, what's the word? A simplistic piece to them that may not be, and I think also they don't have the hormones that we have.
Right.
You know, they didn't see behind the stage. Our producer was, you know, wasn't understanding that we are having these summers, these internal summers.
My eyeballs was sweating.
You know, and so, you know, I think in that aspect it's simplistic because their emotions. So here's the thing, and I just learned this. Men continuously produce testosterone, whereas women over the years don't.
Right.
So if testosterone is something that you know, that's what men create, you know, all the time, which is why you find men where they're like, well, what are you doing having a baby at 70?
Right.
Still producing testosterone.
Right. Yeah.
Women, by the time we hit like 50, we might have 3 eggs. Right. We might have,
well, because eggs start to form when you're in the womb. So your eggs are not, they're almost 51, you know what I'm saying? They start to produce while we're in the womb. So we have them from conception.
But we also stop producing them.
Right.
So because estrogen lessens and testosterone increases, I think that's the other part. So they don't deal with a lot of the emotional stuff that we deal with. So I think it is easier for them to communicate because emotionally their minds are not as complicated as ours are. Well, our minds like, well, and they're like, yo, well, why you just don't, you know, and you like, why does it have to be so simple for you? And it's like, well, why is it not simple for you? You know, so I think
why you gotta complicate it?
It's just like, but it's not complicated, you know. So I think it is a combination. Like I think it's all of the above.
Yes.
I think it's all of the above, taken into consideration, you know, science, biology, all of
that stuff. You're right, because hormones play a big part, and emotions and hormones go hand in hand. And I don't think a lot of people realize that. That's how come, like when you're going through puberty, like you're evil, like or whatever. Your body is getting used to those hormones and stuff, and it's something else. I don't want to talk about my eyeballs no more. So let's talk about toxic friendships and rebuilding trust. So friendship breakups can hit just as hard as romantic ones. And I want to bring in something Coach Peach said recently that really resonated with me. She said, betrayal in friendship can be deeply painful, shaking your trust and emotional security. Whether it's a breach of confidence, dishonesty, or disloyalty, the hurt can linger. However, rebuilding trust is possible if both friends are willing to put in the effort. Now, you posted that like a month or two ago or whatever, and I had this episode in mind, and then after I read that, I was like, oh yeah, we're doing this episode, and Peach gotta be, I'm like, I can't do it without her. I can't do it. So have you ever, now I know that we probably all have experienced betrayal in a friendship. I'm sure we have. And do you think after the betrayal, a friendship can be repaired?
Okay, it's dual. I say yes only because of forgiveness. We have to be willing to forgive, but to not allow that person back in. So I am the type of person that I forgive and I forget. So I've had multiple of reoffenses with people because I really forget until something happens and be like, dang. I'll let you do this again. But it's because of the purity of my heart and really like forgiving. And then it's like, because of me, if I do something to offend you and you bring it to my attention and we talk about it and it's over, it's over. I don't hold you accountable. Love holds no record. So I don't think about that. We over that. Let's move forward. And that's where your future is forward. You can't keep looking back, you know, and however, you hurt yourself when you keep doing that. You have to know when to re-invite, or if you should re-invite, and how major is the offense, and learn how to love and let go. I'm a lover. I love hard.
A lover, not a fighter.
For real. You know, I used to be a fighter, like Dee said, you know, like what? But, you know, I'm truly a lover. And I don't really like confrontation. So I used to be really bad. My friends would laugh, and hopefully I'm going to tell them to watch this episode, because I used to be like, one and done, you're done. You're done. But that was after so many times of just like re-inviting people. It's okay, yeah, no. And then I'm healing, but I'm really not healing. I'm just covering up because we had a conversation, but I keep letting you back in.
So an apology without changing behavior is not an apology at all.
It's just words.
It's just words.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, words. I really do honestly believe if both people, but it has to be very authentic, and you have the other person has to own up to it.
Accountability,
man, because people don't have accountability,
none,
in no way, shape, form, and they'll try to put it back on you.
Yeah.
I'll be like, what?
That narcissistic behavior when it was something they did, but it was your fault. Yeah.
Now I
can do a whole episode on narcissism. Yeah. Well, that's a whole nother hour.
But you know, now I don't even revisit, or I don't even let the person know, like, especially if I know I can't have that conversation with you and you're going to be authentic and real and we can get past it. Like, I just let them, okay. It's not even a conversation. It's not worth my time or energy. I'm going to pray for you, though. And I don't even tell people now if I know they said something or did something, you know what I mean? Or it always gets back, because I'll be like, what? Like, and it always be the people you would never think. Yeah. And it's just like, wow. Like, you know, like, wow.
When that keeps reoccurring, like your real true friends, like your true friends, they be hurting for you. Like, they really be aching, like, why are you still talking to this person, or how you keep letting this person, if they're really your true friend, they be like, I just feel the pain.
I was moving, and two of my really good friends was there helping me, and something happened, another person came in, or they never really met this person or been around this person. And then when they left out, everything that I was already confirmed, they said, like, oh, this person, this, they don't know them. I said, okay, Lord, I hear you. You know what I mean? Like, you know, but for somebody else to see it, it's time.
So Coach Peach did come up with 7 steps to rebuild trust. You know, I was pulling all your stuff out today, huh? She came up with acknowledge the betrayal, open and honest communication, apology and accountability, set clear boundaries. Dee always talks about set. She set all kinds of boundaries. Right. Observe actions, not words, and decide if the friendship is worth saving. Good. You need to know when it's time to move on. Yeah. And see, that was me back in it. You know what? Maybe not so much with females. When it comes to the heart, like, for some reason, you'll just let him come back a couple times or whatever. And I'll be like, this is dumb. But I am literally like, I forgive, but I forgive for me. So that I can let go of that anger, and I can let go of, you know, whatever issue it is. So I will forgive that person. But Lord, honey child, don't stay away from me. Stay, if it was to the point where I actually feel like I said, the one friend I had, you're never going to change. You're going to keep doing mess. You're going to keep doing this. You're going to keep doing... It's time to just let that go. Yeah. Just let that go. But I think the key is really, like you said, accountability. Like you recognize, like you said, you have to recognize the betrayal and hold yourself accountable for it, because a lot of people will not. They don't even understand what the word accountability is. My 18-year-old holds himself accountable for everything. Yeah, I did it. It was me. Yeah, like he been like that since he was like 12 or 13. Yeah, I know I could have did better, but you know, I'm like, how this kid, you know, can hold himself accountable, and it's grown folks who don't even know how to spell it.
ACC what?
Or spell it, say it, more or less do it. Right. You know, so. All right. So now we're going to take our wine tasting break.
Okay.
So now let's break into our wine tasting segment.
Yes.
Our segment today is sponsored by Augusta Sun Winery. Meet your new favorite escape, Augusta Sun Winery, female-owned, woman winemaker, Shane Gustafson, and it's just outside of Buffalo. It's not even that far, but she is woman-owned. It's so cute in there. They have slushies. They have like shots, pudding shots. They have all that. It's so cute. They have food. They got an indoor part and an outdoor part. So
I think I've been there years ago on
Have
a
you?
wine tour.
On a wine tour?
Because I get their emails, and I was trying to figure
yeah,
out.
well, why am I on this email list?
But years ago, when we went on a wine tour, I think that was one of the.
One of
When
the
you
wine-
said that, and I'm like, I think I've been on their list. I've been here.
Oh, they keep it fun, flirty, and real with slushies. They have boozy brunches and wine-fueled events. Like they have everything with wine. Where today we are tasting their rosé because rosé is my favorite, and it's summertime. Rosé is for summer, and I love rosé. Flat, still sparkling, just rosé.
Any kind of rosé.
Rosé all day. Not any kind, because I have come across some that I didn't like. But so this rosé is made from Pinot Noir, so I probably will like it because I like Pinot Noir. It's light, crisp, and not too sweet with strawberry and watermelon notes. And Shane says it's the kind of wine that makes you feel like you've got your life together, even if just for a minute.
Listen, we need
See that right now.
right now.
She said it make you feel like you got your life together. I'm like, okay, because I'll be trying to get my life. And it was cold, but now I don't really know if it's hot in this room or not, but I don't know. Okay. So, one for you, D.
Thank you.
Oh wait, this got some.
Oh, this got lifted. Did you
Did
drink
you
from
drink?
this one?
Oh, I may have. Get me that one.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Which we go way back, child. So we ate
Right.
and drank
Okay.
child off
So-
the same plate. So
Like I said, she said this is light and crisp, not too sweet, with strawberry and watermelon notes.
okay. So
Okay, cheers. I always toast.
Cheers.
do you like the wine
Stick a
connoisseur,
little. Stick a little.
and then smell it.
Ooh, I like it.
Oh, this is good.
I taste the strawberry.
Mm-hmm.
It is very
I
fruit
taste
I do
forward.
taste the strawberry.
Mm-hmm.
It is very fruit forward.
Yeah. What
Okay.
can you do that? Do you know what you could pair this with? Like fruit
Fried
or
chicken.
just
Yeah, the rosés go with quite a few things. The sweeter rosés you can pair with desserts and stuff, but rosés because they're so light, salads, chicken, like seafood.
This actually tastes a little bit. It's not like wine, but I have a strawberry. It's not like a vinaigrette dressing, but I can taste the hint of it. Tastes like this, but it doesn't. It's not a wine dressing.
Right.
Yeah, I get you.
And so I could totally see this with my little strawberry
salad.
Yes, yes. A strawberry pecan salad with some goat cheese.
yes.
Yes. Longhorn.
No goat cheese, but yes.
So if Rosé were a friend, what kind of friend would Rosé be?
Bubbly.
Yeah, this Rosé, this is my sweet.
This would be my peachy twin.
Yeah, this is my sweet
It's
friend.
sweet, but it's
And
it's
and you know what? And on a night out, because it's got a little in the back, she be hiding something. Well, you let her out and let her that out. That is nice. I like that. Okay.
That's real good.
So some of the
Yes.
final thoughts. What's one thing a good friend should always do? Peach.
be intentional. Be very intentional.
D.
I was gonna say love.
A friendship love.
Yeah.
I love y'all.
I think that's important. I saw something today where it says make sure you tell the people, the friends in your life that
But you love them. Make it weird.
Yes.
I was just about to say. I saw that today too.
Yeah, and I think with the busyness of life, ironic that we're here today. that like I thought about my friends and I was like, I definitely want to be more intentional. I mean, I know that my friends know that I love them, but I think it's important to tell people that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's part of being intentional,
Yeah.
right? Like, I love you. Like, I care about you. You know, I'm not just here for what you can do for me. You know what I mean? But that I really do love you. So,
And life be life, and so you have your friends that you don't even talk to every day or whatever, but I have my friends that if they need anything, they know they can call me, and they know I have insomnia. They'll call me at 3 o'clock in the morning. They know I'm gonna answer my phone because I don't turn my phone on do not disturb. I don't turn it off because they know that no matter what to say.
wait, I'm about to say,
do not disturb. I'm like, I got to listen.
And they know when they call me, I'm answering the phone. Do you need a ride? Do I need to bring my Timbs and a shovel? What's the type of emergency what we doing?
Yes.
I'm that. And there was another meme that's I'm that all-purpose friend. I can go to church. I can go to brunch. I can go to the gym. I can hide the body. No questions asked. I'm that friend. I'm gonna get it done. We gonna get it done no matter what it is. So. Anything else you guys want to add? Okay, D, you want to talk about Trueheart Enterprises real quick?
Yes, so my name is Detra Trueheart, as you all know, and my company is called TrueheartSpeaks Enterprises, speaker, coach, strategist, preacher, author, and my mandate in this season is supporting women of faith and leaders, helping them, as she said, to really get out of their way so that they can show up for themselves in the same way that they show up for others. So like my Get It Done friends, my role is to make sure that they're not just getting it done for others, but they're getting it done for themselves. How are you showing up for yourself? How are you setting boundaries? How are you leading not just others, but yourself? How are you resting? How are you putting your phone on do not disturb? Now, she and I have had these conversations. She don't sleep, so she gonna do what she want to do, but you can find me on all social media pages either as TrueheartSpeaks or Detra Trueheart. I'm on LinkedIn, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. You can go to my website TrueheartSpeaks.com. And more importantly, I think just as we are talking about this conversation of friends, make sure that you are showing up for you in the same way that you show up for your friends.
Yes.
That's honey.
Peach.
Yes. Well, sorry, I gotta say this. Get you a teacher.
Right.
I tell all of my clients, every coach needs a coach, and she is definitely my coach, and she is definitely true to what she says, and making sure we as coaches and leaders and entrepreneurs are not only helping everybody else but helping ourselves. But I am Donyetta R. Peach, life coach and author, foster mother, soon to be adoptive mother. And yes, I am. Thank you.
But I want to say though, we can't leave out the babies though. One that just had her birthday just.
Yeah, so
my birthdays are a couple days apart.
Yes.
The same age.
Yes.
So my oldest daughter, Nadia, biological. She just turned 17 on July 5th. She is also a licensed lash tech. She does want to get into esthetician, so she's progressing in that. She is also top of her class. She's about to be a senior. She is the bomb.com. I love her. I love her so much. And also my baby girl, biological, Taylor. She is 11. She does have her own business as well. She has a bubblegum machine. And she also is about to be an author. We're working on her book. Have confidence in yourself. So be on the lookout for that.
I love it.
Too.
Yes, and I mean my baby boys, they are the same. I have a couple athletes, a couple musicians, so we're just pushing forward. What else? I'm a daycare owner. Peachy Babies Learn Development Childcare Incorporated. I'm on all social media platforms. I am actually currently just piloted my first healing retreat, intentional healing for moms. I have a Facebook group, Mom Me Moments, and just geared towards mom taking moments and to their busy lives to just have time for themselves. We just did that. I will be piloting a retreat for 3 days, so be on the lookout for that. My website, DonyetteRpeach.com. You can find the information there. Facebook, Donyetta R. Peach, Instagram, Coach Peach, and that's
Now, are these two ladies not thebomb.com? And I can call them legitimately my friends. These are the type of people I like to surround myself with.
Yeah. Love you. We love you,
Love you,
Gina.
girl. So thank you again to my sponsors, Double Up Tactical and Augusta Sun Winery. And also, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, everything on WINOS YouTube page. We also have a Facebook page, WINOS Women in Need of Sanity, and then we're also on Instagram, Women in Need of Sanity. And just to give you a little teaser of our next episode, you don't want to miss this one. Raising Healthy, Happy Humans, a conversation on parenting. It's going to be a special one for me specifically because my oldest son will be joining me for the conversation. Yes.
Congratulations.
So my oldest son, who is 18, he will be 19 in November. Detra mentioned Gen Z earlier. He will be joining me for this conversation so I can get his perspective on things and just have a heart-to-heart talk and share it with you guys.
That's gonna be awesome.
Yeah. He's a good kid. I love my boys. They're amazing. So thank you very much for tuning in. And like I said, don't forget to like, subscribe, everything. True Heart Enterprises. True Heart Speaks Enterprises. And Coach Peach. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.